What is up, guys? It's GameStorms here, and I've been hearing that in Battlefront Beta, the vehicles were a bit OP. I think that is so far from the truth, and if you were the one saying this, I think you were probably one that was getting wrecked by the vehicles a lot, or you just weren't able to get in the vehicles themselves. Now, I would be really upset if they actually end up nerfing the vehicles for the release day of the game, because by no means are they OP. So I just want to go over the two of the main vehicles in the beta and try and show you that the vehicles aren't OP and that they are skill-based, just like in Battlefield. So I will go over the AT-AT and the AT-ST as in their weapons and health. So I'll first go over the AT-AT first. As you can tell in my previous videos of mine, how strong it can be if it's used correctly. But I think this is how it should be, because just look at how giant the thing is. Of course, its blasters are going to be godlike compared to a soldier's weapon. It has 3 weapons. It's blaster cannons, heavy blaster cannons, and orbital strike. Now with these weapons, you are on a 1-minute time limit, which can be increased by, 10-15 seconds probably, depending on how many kills you get. Most people end up getting not too many kills in a run, maybe 5 or 6. But I am basing that off the fact that I would die about once a match to an AT-AT. And the only viable weapon it really has is its blaster cannons, and even with that, if you don't know how to aim it, you won't get that many kills, because with its aim, it shoots below wherever the actual reticle is. So a lot of people, I think, were having a hard time with that, actually getting kills. And don't get me wrong, the orbital strike is nice, but the enemy has so much time to get out of it that really you only get 1 or 2 kills from it. And you can call it twice in that minute if you have the time and you pay attention to it. Now, the heavy blaster cannon is just a completely useless weapon on it, because it aims so far below it. Like, with the regular blaster cannon, it aims just below the reticle. And with the heavy blaster cannons, it aims even lower than that. And you can't even fire it as fast. And it has to be, the only way it can really be used is on flat land, which there isn't much of that in the game mode. There's mostly mountains or trenches, so the heavy blaster cannon is kind of useless. Even with this being the case, I see most people using the heavy blaster cannons, and that's why I think people don't get that many kills. They think just because the heavy blaster cannon makes a bigger explosion that it has to be better. It must be better. It has to kill bigger groups of enemies. It's not really meant for that. I think in other maps, like, I think that the rebels are going to have like some tanks to use and stuff. That's when the heavy blaster cannon is going to become of use. It's going to be to use to destroy other tanks or whatever, other vehicles. That's what it's for. Now, since a lot of people don't know how to use the AT, well, it isn't OP, and it isn't supposed to be strong as hell. Now on to the AT-ST. Now this one is even more of a joke to say that it is OP, because this actually has health and will take 10 health from just a single sniper shot in its own. It also has ion shots to worry about, and ion grenades. Yeah, right. And if you didn't have one of these equipped, you can't get mad, because you have the choice to pick one of these to counter the vehicle. Now this thing could go on a bit of a kill streak if you got your way into the enemy spawn, but the chances of that aren't very high. If you do get there, your heart will start to melt away like the heroes. So typically you get 6 to 8 kills in the AT-ST every time you enter one. This also has 3 weapons, has the blaster cannon, missile launcher, and grenade launcher. But let's just get the missile launcher out of the way. It is only used to destroy turrets. It is completely worthless against ground troops. They move too fast. The rocket doesn't fire that fast, so they're just going to get out of the way. And the blaster cannon is nice with its aiming, but it can be a bit difficult to hit targets that are moving, because it does shoot below the reticle still, just like the AT-AT does. And the grenade launcher is the choice for groups of people, which will only really come up if you get in a spawn, but the grenade launcher is by far, I think, the best way to kill enemies. But like I said before, if you get into the spawn, your health will just melt away. So I don't think You could say these vehicles are anywhere near OP with what I just told you, with all their weaknesses. And if someone actually has a smart rocket saved up for the ATST, it basically renders the thing completely useless, because the smart rocket will deal 80 health to it, meaning probably you only get 1 or 2 kills, and you were better off running around on foot. Plus, you have ships that can easily shoot ATSTs, and you have players that kamikaze in these ships right into the ATSTs to destroy them. So that is all I have to say. And the people complaining must have never played Battlefield, where you can just be spawn killed over and over by someone who knows how to use the helicopter. Well, I hope I have given you some insight to how the vehicles aren't as strong as they could be and just aren't OP. In the comments below, tell me if you agree with me, and if you don't, then tell me what makes them OP, because I don't see it. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.